Hey guys, how are you? Happy Thursday. What's going on? We were live earlier today in members. So if you haven't seen it, get into it. It's still uploading from StreamYard to YouTube, which is weird. I mean, it's there in YouTube, you can see it. But as far as like being able to see the chat and for me to do anything to it, like to add an end screen and all kind of the stuff it does once it like it's still kind of stuck between the streaming service and YouTube. So I don't think you can see the chat. Yeah, I might do, like, I don't know. It just depends on the day and how I'm feeling at the moment, if I got something to talk about or not. It wasn't early for me, but it was early because it was early for y'all. But I get up early, 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 and I'm sure most of you guys too, but it was definitely early to be for me to be live per se, but have your notifications set because it's like you never know when it's gonna happen. So I appreciate y'all that came through. We did go back and revisit a video, and it's in the playlist. It's in members. I'm going to upload it as soon as I can get it from YouTube. I'll upload it to Patreon. So if you're not a member here, but you get Patreon, or you're a member on Patreon, then you've got it over there. So I will upload that as soon as it's available to me for me to download it over there. So boom. Anyway, guys, real quick, you guys tell me, I do want to upload this video. So maybe you guys are over Christina Peterson. She does have court tomorrow on her felony. But Atlanta police did upload a 5-hour video, which all of it is not relevant. I would say probably 3 hours of Christina in the back seat singing, threatening ish, threatening ish tone. I might put it up so you guys can watch it. I don't know. I mean, there are some parts that I think are interesting. But ma'am's going to court tomorrow. Atlanta PD went ahead and put out an additional, like the raw and uncut of the dash cam in the back seat. And I downloaded it. I think I'm going to upload it to OSIP and put it up as I'm going to just take out the last damn 2 hours because it's not relevant. I mean, it's just an empty seat. I might just put it on super fast or something, put it on like 5 times speed or something. So it'll play in like, I don't know. Uh, it's not worth it to me. I don't know. I'm going to edit it a little bit, take a little editing license to make it at least something where if we did a premiere and you guys want to have a kiki, because ma'am was in rare form. She does go to court tomorrow at, let me see what's on my calendar. She's got court tomorrow, 9 o'clock. It's her first appearance on her felonies. So I don't know. Maybe it's worth going to take a look real quick. I did not plan to do that, but it's news and other gossip. What's going on? Let's see. Let me see real quick it's going on her docket real quick. I should put an alert on that so I can kind of keep up with that. But ma'am has a whole felony. She's so bitter. Do any of you guys follow her on Instagram? Ma'am puts up them bitter posts, okay? Atlanta dragging sis by her. Girl, let me tell you, this video, it's pretty much a mess. I'm not gonna bore you guys with it here. But I might bore you guys with it over there on OSIP just because I think it is worth watching. Especially the first hour. I was like, sis, if you don't calm down, then I'm gonna have to show. Yeah, I didn't plan to talk about her. Hold on. Ma'am posted, which I took a screenshot of it just in case she takes it down. Ma'am posted a screenshot of the police officer who arrested her, which I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that, but she's got his like patrol picture posted. I don't know what you call that. Uh, ma'am is a mess, okay? She's saying she's coming to YouTube. I guess we'll see when she gets here. Christina J. Patterson. Where can I see it? Is this it? Yes. Okay, yeah. Willful obstruction of law enforcement. What a way to lose your job. Ma'am, and she said, and on Juneteenth. So yeah, she's got. Did she have to post any bond? Did she post $5,000? How embarrassing. Yeah, $5,000, 5,000 good bond. No further violent contact with law enforcement officers. On her sheet, it says no further violent contact with law enforcement officers. I don't know if she should be posting on her Instagram platform like that. To me, I don't know. I think that who knows? I don't know what people think. Anyway, ma'am has court tomorrow on her felony and she's lost her job. All of that in the interim. And then Atlanta Police Department decided on 4th of July um, to, not that that's relevant, but that's a holiday, but maybe that's the day the person was working who decided to upload a 5-hour video of her in the back seat of the patrol car. So I don't know if she's planning some sort of a lawsuit or whatever, but they put out literally 5 hours and 20 minutes. It was like 4 GB video that I had to download. And it's like, ma'am, I mean, just belligerent. Girl, she's not giving what she thinks she's giving on this internet. Okay. It's not giving what she, if whatever she thinks she's, because I think people see people doing social media and thinks everybody can do it, but it's a skill. It is a skill, especially if you're not just doing it for friends and family. Even those of us who start doing friends and family social media, it's a skill to it, right? You get better and better and better at it, right? If you enjoy, kind of playing around with the like making videos and and having your timeline look a certain type of way, right? I think a lot of people fall into it almost as a hobby before you find yourself like, oh, like I never thought I would be doing social media in this way. You know what I mean? Um, she took half of his shift. I think I'm gonna be honest, she took his whole shift, okay? This is what's on her Instagram, and I feel like it's low key threatening, but who am I? I'm not law enforcement. Um, but why would you post his picture like that? He's just a young guy. Um, she put his badge number, his police department, all of the things. The officer who chose to violate the first black probate judge of Douglas County on Juneteenth, which ultimately led to her removal from her position. Those 20 to 50 ethics charges were not willful violations by Judge Christina. Most were not even violations, just part of the enemy's agenda. Wake up. Girl, if she's not probably best friends with Sonia, I don't know who is. She's coming from a certain playbook of, sis, get a grip. Sis, you're ruining your professional life and you don't seem to understand. You don't have enough of a handle on this social media thing to be cute with it. You are not cute with this thing at all. And you might want to stop before they notify the bar and they strip you of your license. You know what I'm saying? Or put some sort of um something, because on top of being stripped as a judge, would you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you like to be stripped as a lawyer? Like, it's giving, sis, calm down. Calm down. Sis is angry and mad. Her arrest did not end her career. She ruined. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not saying 1 and 1 equals 2. The arrest helped facilitate the train wreck that already was her career. So maybe I should elaborate on that, but it didn't help. The arrest absolutely was the straw that broke the camel's back. She was already derailing her career. So thank you for that that guide rail. Sis was already wrecking her career. So it didn't wreck her career. Her career was already in process of trouble. So, girl. Yeah, she would have been done after this term anyway, but now she just can't. And then also it says, I think, let me see if she has it on here. On her YouTube page, it says former judge now because maybe she can't even use Judge Peterson anymore. Um, girl, red martini. Can you see this? Hold on. Wait, not that. Girl, she had the nerve to tag red martini, spiritual warfare, Juneteenth. It be your own people. Ma'am is mad. Red martini, spiritual warfare, Juneteenth. It be your own people. Black on black crime, probate judge, justice for Christina. Let's click on justice for Christina and see what comes up. Wow. Did she post that in two places? Where's this one? Official girl. She has 2 pages. She has 1 page with 10,000 followers. Okay. Girl, I wasn't following that one. Okay. All right. And then her YouTube page, you go there, and I don't think anything's happening. She still hasn't done anything yet. Or did she? Okay, let's see. Your favorite judge. She says your favorite judge. Okay. Is she singing karaoke? What? Okay. All righty, Judge Christina. Oh, you guys didn't see it. My bad. Ma'am is doing karaoke. I guess she's free now. She doesn't have to be at court. She was removed from her job. So Judge Christina, okay, sis. Um, and over here she says your favorite former Douglas County probate judge. Okay. Oh, so your fave fashionista, actress, vocalist, and entertainer, Judge Christina J. Okay, that's interesting. Cool. Oh. Meanwhile, back to the bonding sheet. Okay, that's the case. That's the bond. And she was told to stay away. She was told to not be aggressive with law enforcement. Okay. All right. Anyway, okay. I do want to talk about something else that's kind of serious real quick. So this is really a sad story. The interesting thing, when I saw this person, she looked like someone I recognized. Like I could have when I saw the picture, like immediate not this picture, but they have it kind of encapsulated. If you're in New York, you know what's going on with this young lady who was killed recently. This is so awful, guys. um Yasmin Williams. I kept seeing her picture and she looks like someone I know. And I finally clicked on it because I was like, who is this person? And then I heard this horrible story. This is horrible. This is horrible, horrible, horrible. So trigger warning. This is not a, this is just a sad story happened in New York. Um, and let's just get into it. Um, we're over here on hopefully I'm showing this on, yeah, on the shade room. And then we'll go over to, well, CBS is showing. Let's take a look at
Chad
this.
Irish remains in custody at the 1-3 precinct just down the block from where we're standing. And police sources tell us he was out on parole for robbery and assault. And now he's charged with concealment of a corpse.
I just love how people are like, oh, well, and I know we talked about this yesterday with Michael Jackson Bolanos, that he's a thief and he might not be a murderer. And that's very well possible, plausible, all of those things. But there are people who are skilled at concealing their crimes, right? So that's not always a hard and fast rule. I think yesterday's situation is a unique situation in that there is a very plausible suspect who confessed to the crime, and it just makes for reasonable doubt. So it is definitely a whodunit, unfortunately for the family of Samantha Wall. This situation is different. This person was out on parole, and he's actually seen in possession going down the street with what appears to be a trash bag, which is a trash bag, but nobody knew what was inside. People called because there was something suspicious on the side of the road, and maybe somebody, well, on the sidewalk, excuse me. And then people called for a suspicious package, and the police came to investigate and found this lady who had been missing. Let's go and get into it.
Now, check out this exclusive video you will only see here, appearing to show Irish in his wheelchair carrying that suspicious looking bag.
This man is in a fucking wheelchair with this crazy stuff. This is crazy, right? Did you see that? Hold on. My bad.
Down the street. Neighbors noticed the bag on the curb Friday on East 27th Street and called the cops. Inside the bag, the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams, who had been shot to death, the medical examiner says. Now, over the weekend, angry neighbors surrounded Irish as he was arrested, shouting things like murderer. On Tuesday, Mayor Adams weighed in on the case.
He should be lucky that the police got him before that community.
Yasmin was really a caring person. She was energetic. She knew people around the neighborhood, so she was very loving.
Mary, good morning to you. The suspect, that wheelchair-bound man, 55-year-old Chad Irish, remains in custody at the 1-3 precinct just down the block from where we're standing. And police sources tell us he was out on parole for robbery and assault, and now he's charged with concealment of a corpse. Now, check out this exclusive video you will only see here, appearing to show Irish in his wheelchair carrying that suspicious-looking bag down the street. Neighbors noticed the bag on the curb Friday.
Okay, he's done. I mean, if they've identified that was him, that's his wheelchair, that's, I mean, he's done. But check this out. So they went to go pick him up at the apartment. This is him coming out.
Boiled over in Kips Bay when police took a man into custody around the corner from where the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams was found stuffed into garbage bags. Down the block, police sought out a man sources tell Fox 5 is a person of interest in the murder. In a wheelchair when he was brought down to the lobby, he was being transferred into a gurney while still in the lobby as a crowd outside started screaming and banging on the windows. Once the door opened, family members and friends of Yasmin Williams unleashed their fury as police officers and EMTs desperately tried to fend them off. Several people punched the man in the head, angrily jumping over him and leaping over anyone in the way to get at him. Some could be heard begging the crowd to kill the man, while others were tearing his shirt from behind. Anger boiled over in Kips Bay when police took a man into custody.
I'm like, wow. Hold on a second. Let me go over here.
In Kips Bay.
Investigators say her body was discovered inside a sleeping bag on the curb. CBS News' Derek Waller joins us live from the scene with more on this disturbing story and the neighborhood outrage. Derek?
Chris, Mary, very disturbing. This was a suspicious package that police responded to on Friday afternoon right here on the curb on East 27th Street, and it turned out to be a woman's body. Now, I can show you what's going on behind me. We have a memorial that's been set up for 31-year-old Yasmeen Williams. Candles and flowers here, left here last night by her friends and family. But later, there was chaos as police took somebody into custody. We can show you that video now. Monday night, as police loaded that man into an ambulance and took him to the hospital, an angry crowd surrounded them with neighbors shouting, "Murderer." Now, earlier, Williams' friends and family lit candles and placed flowers where the 31-year-old's body was found Friday afternoon here on East 27th between 2nd and 3rd Avenues in a trash bag, wrapped in a sleeping bag, sitting out on the curb. Williams lived around the corner. The medical examiner's office says she suffered a gunshot wound to the head. Now, her family tells CBS 2 that Williams was just about to start a new job working for the city.
She was looking so forward to living her life. Because she got her degree in criminal justice. She went to Buffalo State University, and she wanted to go back to be a lawyer.
She was the best sister I could ever have. And I love her so much. I just wish she could have stayed a little longer because I just wanted to grow up with her.
That broke my heart. Her baby sister. This is awful.
So many of her family and friends out here grieving the loss of someone that they deeply loved. And that's a very sad situation. But later today, we're hoping to find out some more.
I wonder how this guy lured her.
More information about the man that was taken into custody
in a fucking wheelchair. How is he they arrested him, so they've got to have pieced something together for them to have come, collected him, picked him up. But I mean, also the video is evidence alone because he was in possession of her remains. Crazy, right? Absolutely nuts. Let's
see this person of interest, hopefully learning his name and potential charges. Reporting live here in Kips Bay, Derek Waller, CBS 2 News.
What they say his name was Craig
Derek,
Irish.
thank you.
Hold on a second. Let me go to this one. Man was charged. I think his name is Craig Irish. Sources tell CBS New York that nearly 24 prior arrests. Oh, girl, he has nearly 24 prior arrests. Went to prison twice for robbery, assault in the Bronx. Sources also say he was out on parole, released from prison 2 years ago. Most of his prior arrests were related to drug possession. He was mobbed by angry friends and family of Williams, and he was taken into custody on Monday. When he gets to Rikers Island, it could be a wrap for him. Irish wheelchair and dog were confiscated by the police. Yeah, because I guess it's part of the evidence. Exclusive video shows the man in a motorized wheelchair casually dragging what appears to be the same trash bag that Williams' lifeless body was found inside of, wrapped in a sleeping bag. I don't know if this is the actual killer, but how inhumane. You're dragging down the block somebody's daughter. He should be lucky the police got to him before the community, said Mayor Eric Adams. Several people said Williams was friends with the man who uses the wheelchair in the neighborhood. She grew up there and lived nearby. There's no word yet on where the killing took place. The police were trying to determine if the murder happened in Irish's apartment. Police sources say Irish is the prime suspect in the murder, definitely deserving to be in jail and locked up, doesn't deserve to come home or none of that, said Tommy Mena, a friend of the victim. You feel like it was him. CBS New York's Lisa Rosner asked. For sure, definitely. He's always with her, so it definitely got to be him. Do you know if they were dating or if she was living there, Rosner asked? Not necessarily, but I know he would bring her home like she would go to his house, Mena said. I just know he could be abusive, though. Other neighbors told CBS News, New York the victim had been staying with Irish before she went missing. Police sources tell CBS New York detectives have surveillance video of Irish dragging the sleeping bag past neighbors out of Strauss house, which I guess is maybe his apartment. Neighbor Antoine Frazier says he was suspicious of Irish even before police arrested him. Asked him, I turned around and say, what did you, yo, what did you do with the young girl? Frazier asked. Frazier said, when confronted about the sleeping bag, he claims Irish told him it was full of dirty laundry. So he was seen leaving the building with, yeah, that's awful. So, and they were friends, so that she would be in his company. She probably didn't want him. He probably got mad and didn't want her. How awful. You see how people like secretly hate you, and it's not everybody, of course, because we can't operate in paranoia, but it's really unfortunate. I mean, this is like 2 days in a row. Because even the guy yesterday, Jeffrey, the friend of Samantha Wall, he's kind of secretly hated her too. This is awful. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Uh Gosh, it's like hard to even read this. Loved ones remember Yasmin's mother, Nicole Williams, said her daughter was looking forward to her future. She had been set to start a new job with the city's Department of Housing Preservation on Monday. She was looking so forward to living her life, Nicole Williams said. She got her degree in criminal justice. She went to Buffalo State University. Yasmin had a twin brother and a younger sister. She used to always take good care of me. She used to always be proud of me. She was the best sister I could ever have. I loved her so much. This is what her younger sister said. Yasmin was a really caring person. She was energetic. She knew people around the neighborhood. She was so loving. It's pretty sad, Maina said. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. She was in my timeline. I'm sure she was in you guys' timeline too. I don't know if you guys took the time to click on the story, but I happened to click on the story and it just kind of blew me away. Um, and then I got the alert about, is it DeAndre, the guy from Atlanta who went missing? He went home to Birmingham for the weekend and then took his boyfriend home, or his partner, and he goes in the house and doesn't come out. Like, that was weird too. Let's go over here real quick. This was really strange. Hold on.
And a professional dancer in Atlanta came to.
Let me make sure you guys can.
4th of July is
Hold on. This was crazy.
always a memorable weekend for all the right reasons, right? Like family and friends and fireworks and barbecues and all that. But an Alabama family will never see that holiday the same way. Last week, DeAndre Cottrell, a doctoral student and a professional dancer in Atlanta, came to visit them in Birmingham, Alabama. He wanted to celebrate the 4th with his sister Angelica and her family.
And bought home a guy that he was with. I don't know how serious the relationship is, but I'm assuming it was fairly serious. He bought the guy home to his family, right? And this is what happens. So weird.
But during the fireworks, DeAndre decided to duck back inside the house to check on the dog because, dogs are afraid of loud noises. That's not unusual. What was unusual, though, he didn't come back outside for a full hour. And that's when his sister says DeAndre's boyfriend, Julian Morris, just like calmly announced that DeAndre had jumped out a window and run off. So everybody else jumps into action, right? Begins searching, except that boyfriend. He didn't. He instead returned to the table to keep eating. So DeAndre.
Homie has crazy eyes, okay? And I think he's still on the loose. Is he? I don't know that he's been found yet.
Andre's sister says that boyfriend's
Julian
behavior
Morris
seemed so odd that she kicked him out. And then a few hours later, when he returned, she refused to let him back in.
That was smart because he's crazy. Yeah.
And then police
Let him
found
back in the house
DeAndre's
either.
clothing and his phone in the yard. And neighbors had a ring cam reportedly showing him running through the neighborhood and jumping a fence nearby. Sadly, on Saturday, police found DeAndre's body. It was a block away and inside the shed of an abandoned house. His death has been ruled a homicide. And now that boyfriend, Julian Morris, has vanished. A search is now underway and police are calling him, quote, a person of interest in DeAndre's, quote, suspicious death. They're also offering a $5,000 reward for information on his whereabouts.
Do you guys remember anyone who's old enough? And I'm sure you guys have seen the movie. Do you remember that guy, Andre? Was it Andre Cunanan? Remember, he was like the gay serial killer, is what they called him. He was like going from California to the East Coast, and he was like killing. He was not just because he was gay, but he was killing other gay men. And by the time he got to Miami, he's the one who killed Versace. Thank you, Old Man Johnson's Farm. It was crazy. It was like a summer killing spree. It was Andre Cunanan. I will never forget that. Okay? Never forget that. It was so scary. And then they would catch you would catch glimpses of him, and it was like somebody else was dead, and then somebody else was dead, and then it was Andrew, excuse me, thank you, Andrew Cunanan. I knew it was something. It was that was the first thing that I thought of. Like, could he be another Andrew Cunanan?
And I'm joined now by Angelica Cottrell, DeAndre's sister, and Tim Cottrell, DeAndre's brother. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. And first of all, my heart goes out to you with the loss that you've just been through. I can't imagine what you're going through. But then there's this added piece of DeAndre's boyfriend just running off and disappearing. Have you had any updates? And Angelica, I'll start with you. Have the police said anything to you about the case?
No updates as of yet. No, ma'am.
So it's like such an odd sequence of events at the party, right? Like Julian just makes this weird announcement and then goes back to the table and starts eating. Was there something else about his behavior other than that glaring red flag that made you think maybe right away that he might have been involved in this?
It was really his sense of calmness, his lack of urgency, just the fact that he was so laid back and he didn't display any of the fear or anything that family members were displaying at that time. It was just nonchalant, calm, and nothing that he said made sense.
It didn't match the.
What did he come back to the house for? So DeAndre goes upstairs, he goes in the house, he disappears, homie comes outside eating. Oh, okay, yeah, he ran out. He jumped out a second story window, guys. Can I get another hot dog? How's that? What? He was in a neighbor's shed. Yeah, his remains. Crazy, right? And there's footage on the Ring cameras of him running through the neighborhood. And then now Julian Morris is missing. They say that he can't, not missing, but he's left the scene. He's not, no one has seen him. We don't know if he could be back in Atlanta. Who knows? I'm sure he's on the run. Crazy, right? Let's play the rest.
The sequence of events as they were unfolding. It sounds that way. Anyway, Tim, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were asked to identify your brother's body. Did you see any visible injuries or marks or anything that would be part of this case?
So DeAndre takes his boyfriend home for a weekend, right? They go from Atlanta to Birmingham. DeAndre, these two people's sibling, was eating, went in the house to go check on the dogs. I don't know if he brought his dog, but he went in the house. They said that he said he was going to go check on a dog, right? He never came back out. The boyfriend, Julian Morris, said DeAndre jumped out of a second story window. What else was said? Maybe they don't want them filling in too much blanks, with the police. They're going to say, well, don't only tell but so much. Right here, it says Birmingham Police Department is investigating the death of DeAndre Cottrell, whose body was found in a shed 2 days after he went missing on July 4th. Police have named Julian Morris, Cottrell's partner, a person of interest. Cottrell's siblings, Angelica and Timothy, joined News Nation Banfield on Tuesday night to discuss the latest details in the investigation. According to Timothy, police told his family that Cottrell died from strangulation. Oh, wow. Weird. And then Julian Morris disappears. He leaves the house, and they said he came back later, but sis would not let him in. He might have been coming back in to take him out. Who knows?
Or be a telltale about anything?
Nah, when viewing his body, there was nothing but a little dirt on his face from where he had been, but no like physical bodily harm to him.
And the police haven't said anything to you? Like, have they given you a cause of death yet, or a suspected cause of death? Have they said they have a theory about how he died and how he ended up in the shed?
Yes, they say my brother was murdered by strangulation.
They've at least said that.
Yes, ma'am.
Did they go any further? I mean, I know that they've said that Julian Morris is a person of interest, but did they go any further and suggest that they've discovered any other evidence? Do they seem baffled by the sequence of events?
They haven't gone any deeper with us.
That's the picture right there that says, baby, I wouldn't have let him back in the house either.
As far as the case, but as far as just the entire events leading up to my brother's death, they were kind of taken back, and it kind of I seen a lot of police officers be emotional behind the missing of my brother.
And the ring cam shows him running through people's yards and jumping a fence. Did anything there make any sense? Like, was I missing a detail? Because that just seems sort of odd.
Nah, you almost like us. We just couldn't understand why he would be running or jumping fences. But later along the line, we kind of figured out why, and it just threw us in a loop.
So, Angelica, is this correct? I think I've seen or read something where you've said that Julian Morris, who's now, wanted, right? They're saying he's a person of interest, this boyfriend, that he called your brother's phone nonstop until your brother's body was found. Did he ever talk to you guys? Did he ever call you guys and ask for an update?
No, ma'am. There was never a time that he called us for updates. It was more so us constantly reaching out to him, having questions about, Dee's last whereabouts, what was said before he supposedly jumped. We just had a lot of questions for Julian, but in the midst of those conversations, he revealed to me that he had put my brother in a house. So I feel like the conversations that we had were very, very detrimental to this case.
Well, it's just so incredibly confounding, and I want to, keep up with you both and listen if there's any updates. We want to continue covering this story, and certainly we want to help, to track down Julian Morris. Thank you, Angelica Cottrell and Tim Cottrell. I really appreciate you being on, and again, our deepest condolences go to you and your family tonight.
My bad. My bad. I didn't realize I was okay. Thank you for the red flags, guys. Okay. Did I need to even say anything at that point? Sir, these guys are entertainers. I hear you guys. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? I got you. 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 I'm here. Uh Thank you. Okay, let's go get off of that because that takes away too much from the actual uh you see I was, they had the Instagram posted, so I had to come through, but they're entertainers. So if ladies want to go see the guys who dance and do all of the things, is this something we can even show? Okay. There's they're guy strippers. They're sexy guy dancers, okay? They cater, I'm sure they cater to the ladies and to the gentlemen. So they were a dance troupe, I guess, girl. Hold on. I wonder what happened. Unless Sir was just nuts, okay? I cannot even um hold on. Let me refresh this. Uh mm-mm-mm. Why is this not? I want to see. So I'm sure they got to be looking for this guy somewhere between we need to speak to him as soon as possible. He's 31 years old, black male, 160 pounds. If you locate him, if you see him, call 911. Don't homie is dangerous. Julia Morris was the last person to see and or hear from DeAndre Cottrell before his disappearance. He is currently a person of interest in this investigation, which means we believe he holds crucial information in this case. Julian Morris was seen by and spoke with Birmingham police officers before DeAndre's body was discovered. Since DeAndre Cottrell's body was discovered, Julian Morris, his family, and his legal counsel have not spoken, and he's lawyered up, have not spoken to BPD detectives. BPD respects Julia Morris's wish to not provide a statement. We appreciate the community's support for DeAndre and his family as it's so hard for me. I keep wanting to say BDP. BPD homicide detectives continue to pursue justice for DeAndre Cottrell's homicide investigation. At this time, BPD says they are investigating Cottrell's death as an unclassified death investigation until it can be determined if this will be a criminal or non-criminal case. However, so this must be, when is this from? They were still making the determination. Well, I guess this was yesterday, but they say strangulation, that just doesn't happen by accident. So I'm sure they just probably have to get the medical examiner's final word. But my God, can you believe this? This is a nightmare. I thought my use of Ozempic caused me to go deaf when y'all, y'all, no. You know this, look, it's gonna happen at least once a day. Just know that at least once a day, sis is gonna put the sound on mute because something's happening in the house and I'm going to forget. I'm going to just be talking and it's just going to be like, "Oh shit, I'm on mute." Most of the time when I do it, you guys don't even know cuz I'm like, "Oh god, am I on mute again?" But like sounds playing, so I'm able to kind of like cover it up. But sometimes um it's awful. It's awful. Okay. His eyes are soulless. He appears to be not there. Thank you for the member support, guys. You guys are so sweet. Um, this is their little dance troupe. I guess it's a wrap on that. Well, let me go over to Birmingham Police Department real quick. I wonder what happened. Well, we know final what happened, but I just wonder. You never know. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. And the fact that somebody would take you out in your family's presence means he's I would just want to make sure he is out of, like, he's gone for good and he's out of our city. Um, I would be sleeping with my gun up under my pillow. I'm not even gonna lie on that one. Uh, that's crazy. I would be so nervous right now. Birmingham Police Department. Is this it right here? This is okay, here it is. Hold on.
Police Department would like to provide an update in the DeAndre Cottrell missing persons investigation. On July 4th, the Birmingham Police Department launched a missing persons investigation on 31-year-old DeAndre Cottrell, who was last seen leaving a residence on foot in the 7900 block of 4th Avenue South. The following day, while East Precinct officers were searching the general area, they located clothing items believed to belong to DeAndre. A community member informed our officers that they had surveillance footage of DeAndre walking in the area. With the clothing items and surveillance footage, East Precinct supervisors and officers narrowed down their search on Saturday, July 6th. And just before 3 p.m., they discovered DeAndre Cottrell's body in the 7800 block of 5th Avenue South. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office responded to the scene and took care and custody of DeAndre Cottrell. The Jefferson County Medical Examiner's Office will perform an autopsy on DeAndre to determine the manner and cause of death. The Birmingham Police Department needs your help. The last person who saw and or heard from DeAndre was 31-year-old Julian Morris. We have shared a picture of him on our Facebook, Instagram, and X pages. If you see him or know of his whereabouts, please call 911 or contact Crime Stoppers immediately. If you have any additional information in this investigation, please contact us directly at 205-254-1764, or if you wish to remain anonymous and receive a cash reward for your tip, please reach out to Crime Stoppers by dialing 205-254-7777. The Birmingham Police.
Oh, did I miss that last little bit? And this is the guy. If you see this guy, do not even stop. Do not just casually pick up your phone and keep on your way, because homie looks he looks dangerous to me. He looks very dangerous. Okay. Wow. Girl, not here though. He don't need to come to Bougie Gang. We're not about that life. You go right on to the police department, girl. We are not. We gonna talk about some crimes, but sis, I'm not solving any. Okay. Maybe I work on solving some like financial crimes, scammers, things like that. But no. Oh, so you guys sent me something else too. The scammer, the girl who took the finger off of the sugar daddy thing. Hold on. Y'all, prayers for DeAndre and his family. Absolutely. Cuz this was Okay, hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Girl, this is another one that you're gonna be like, what? What? Okay. Y'all. Okay. Just a second. Let me read this to you before I show you guys. Well, let me show you the video. Hold on when it comes up. Girl, a 22-year-old escort and her pal were charged with killing her sugar daddy and cutting off his thumb, which was used to buy booze and drugs. Okay, according to court records, Tiffany Taylor Gray, who witnesses said was involved in prostitution, is accused of luring 53-year-old Fasil Telekamarian to his Washington, D.C. apartment on April 1st, where he was struck in the head and stabbed multiple times. Okay. This is crazy. So basically, 2 female scammers came for him and lured him so that they could use to basically steal his money. They cut off let me show you. They cut off his thumb so that they could be able to access his finances. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. So they were using his thumbprint to like access his phone, girl, a mess. Just a second. Let me pull this up. It's some crazy stuff going on right now. You guys are like, what? Hold on. Mm-mm-mm. Did you guys see those people trying to break into apartments in Sandy Springs? That was crazy. I shared that on my Instagram. I don't know what is going on. Maybe there's something in my cookies, but it's just not. Okay, is this it? Okay, it keeps pulling up the wrong thing. So hold on a second. I don't know. Maybe they. Okay, hold on. Let me just pull it up because the thing is just not loading. Here's the pictures. Girl, I said Versace, and then what happened? Okay. Police in Washington, D.C. have charged 2 women with murder for allegedly killing a man who witnesses called their sugar daddy. Court documents show Audrey Miller, 19, Tiffany Taylor Gray, 22, are also accused of cutting off the man's thumb in order to maintain access to his accounts. Miller and Gray were taken into custody separately in recent weeks as authorities in the Metropolitan Police Department search for suspects in the deadly stabbing of 53-year-old Fasil Talakamarian several months ago. Police said Talakamarian was found dead of multiple stab wounds and a number of other injuries inside his bedroom of his apartment on April 5th. Among the injuries was a missing right thumb, which had been cut off around the time the killing and after Teklamarian's death, according to an affidavit for the arrest. I lost my spot. Okay. According to an affidavit for the arrest of Miller and Gray, they are 2 of the 5 suspects listed on the affidavit. The other are men, with one of the 3 identified by police as 34-year-old Tommy Wack. He was charged in May in connection with the case. Police said in an affidavit they found evidence suggesting that cleaning agents had been used to conceal and or eliminate evidence and to conceal and obscure the actions of the suspect and suspects who had committed these offenses. Some evidence remained at the scene, including footprints. CCTV from the lobby in Teklamarian's apartment building appeared to show both suspects were there on the evening he was killed. Several days before police discovered the body, the footage also allegedly showed 3 of the suspects, including Gray, returned on April 3rd around 2 a.m., allegedly to steal several items that belonged to Teklamarian. Stills of the footage appear to show multiple people wearing hooded sweatshirts, masks as they enter the building and again as they exit with their hands full of various items in bags and boxes. Mm-mm-mm. A witness referenced in court filings is someone involved romantically with one of the suspects, recognized Gray and Miller. Police said that witnesses to so one of the 3 guys, so a witness referenced in the court filings as someone involved romantically with one of the suspects, recognized Gray and Miller. So it would be one of the 3 guys. Police said the witness told them Gray had visited the apartment building where Telekamarian lived and at least twice before, and that was her sugar daddy. The same witness said in an interview with investigators that they, referring generally to the group of the involved people, cut the decedent's thumb off and also overheard something about the decedent being stabbed. Girl, I would have been calling the police too. The witness told authorities that Gray may have used Cash App accounts to collect money from Telekamarian as well. So they have been scamming him all along. Telekamarian had previously filed a theft report against Gray for allegedly having something to do with then lost phone and $1,600 in charges to his Cash App account. After learning the address of Gray's College Park, Maryland apartment, the police used surveillance tapes at the building where none of the suspects were trying to conceal themselves to discover their identities and eventually locate them. Gray and Miller both faced charges of armed felony murder in the first degree in connection with Telekamarian's death. Can you believe this? Isn't this crazy, guys? Ooh. I'm sorry, with so much stuff going on these days, and then you find someone is scamming you, you better call the police because you never know if the next phase of the scam is knocking you upside your head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. And I think in today, it's almost worth putting 20 on 10 to be suspicious because you just never know. When you find somebody is a whole lie, you better trust that you just found someone is a whole lie because the life you save might be your own. Because sometimes it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. It really is. So anyway, guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. Guys, meet me over a little bit later on OSIP. I need to edit that video down. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or I might just put it up as a premiere. But if you want to see any of the more of Christina Peterson shenanigans in the backseat of the police car, I'm going to post it over there. You have to until you know that you know. I mean, you don't want to act weird, but it's look, we are living, you know what I mean? I'm not really a conspiracy person, but we are definitely living and it's hot. This is a hot summer. It's been a few years now that it hasn't been. It's crazy hot out here. Normally it's hot like this, in August. It's about a month hotter than it should be right now. And people are losing it. People are not taking medication. People are using all kinds of substances. Girl, let me drop this, my opinion. Girl, this is all my opinion, but people are fucked up. People are messed up. People are using substances. People are abusing all kinds of prescription drugs, street drugs, alcohol, everything. And they're doing some stuff that it's like you can't even wrap your mind around. I mean, tomorrow too, I got it on the calendar. Damn, Maxwell Anderson is going to court tomorrow in Milwaukee. We know who Maxwell Anderson. He's been alleged to have taken out Sade Anderson, the young lady, the 19-year-old who went out on a date with him. That creep is going to be in court tomorrow. Okay. It's very, and I don't know if this is anything new because it's probably nothing new, right? But there's so much more awareness because we have social media, we have instant access to each other. There were just we had the privilege of not knowing certain things. Now, because we have all of this information and technology, we have the burdens of knowing certain things that maybe we didn't have to know about once upon a time, right? So it makes it a scarier place. Um, be careful. Girl, it's hot. It's hot, hot. It was almost 100 here. It gets hot here, but it's not hundreds till August. It doesn't hit high 90s, 100. It was 100. It was like 96, 97. I know in Dallas they were saying it was like 108. It was super duper hot. It's crazy right now. And people are losing it. You saw those people go crazy on that man, and as they should have, right? um was it Craig Irish, the man who's suspected of taking out Yasmin Williams, as they should have. He deserved that send off from his apartment. Based on what we could see from video, they needed to let him know how they felt. And girl, Vegas is what is Vegas right now? 120? Girl, stop it. What lake? What lake is that? The lake at your apartments or the lake, a large lake? Lake on fire in Vegas. What? There weeds and tall grass around it? Lake Mead, is that what you're talking about? Um Someone said, "Fran, you are a killer at research." I don't know, I just come up with the keywords. Let's see, almost 37 boats burned at Lake Mead Marina fire. Is that what you're talking about, Boo? Lake Mead. Okay, let's see. Let's try to end on, did anyone get killed? Because I don't want to bring up more bad news. This is like the bad news hour on Real Talk Bougie, but we had to talk about it. Everything isn't just a key. Wow, all these boats are done. Okay. Almost 3 weeks after raging fire in Lake Mead, almost 37 burnt boats have come back to the surface while their owners are still clueless about what ignited in the first place. Torn and battered, they sit on the decline to the Las Vegas Boat Harbor Marina, and that first sank in the morning on June 9th. The marina said 11 vessels were destroyed and 26 damaged. Let me show you a picture. Damn. I'm gonna give Ernesto, damn. Hold on. Mm-mm-mm. Who got taken out at the Hyatt? Hold on a second. Y'all just throwing them out. Hold on a second. Let me see. Hotel operator fires hotel associate involved in death of black man pinned to the ground. Milwaukee hotel workers fired after death of a black man pinned down outside. Is that what you're talking about? The employees allegedly involved in the death of a black man who was pinned to the ground outside a downtown Milwaukee hotel have been fired. The hotel's operator announced late Wednesday night. Ambridge Hospitality said, "We are saddened and shocked by what happened to, is it Devontae Mitchell at the Hyatt Regency Milwaukee, and we extend our deepest sympathies to the family and the loved ones. The conduct we saw from several associates, hold on a second. The conduct we saw from several associates on June 30th violated our policies and procedures and do not reflect our values as an organization or the behaviors we expect from our associates." Uh, Following reviews of their actions and their employment has been terminated. We will continue our independent investigation and do everything we can to support law enforcement with their investigation. Why were they holding him down like that? Hyatt said in an earlier statement that it joins the family of Devontae Mitchell in their calls for transparency, accountability, and justice for this senseless tragedy. What happened? Mitchell, 43, died at the Hyatt Regency after 4 security guards restrained him, holding him down on his stomach. Media outlets have reported. Police have said Mitchell entered the hotel, caused a disturbance, and fought with hotel employees as they were escorting him out. The family disputes this account. Medical examiners office has said the preliminary cause of death was homicide, but cause remains under investigation. No one has been criminally charged so far. Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office said Wednesday that it and police investigators are awaiting the autopsy results, that the cause was being reviewed as a homicide. Surveillance and video camera viewed by Mitchell's family and their lawyers Wednesday at the district attorney's office show an unarmed man fleeing for his life while being punched and kicked, they said during an afternoon news conference. "What I saw today was disgusting. It makes me sick to my stomach," Mitchell's widow, Deasia Harmon, said. "He ran for his life. He was trying to leave. He said, 'I'll go,' and they didn't let him go." Harmon said the video showed a bleeding Mitchell being dragged outside the hotel. "They didn't stop. They could have let him go, but they didn't." Noted civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump said the family's legal team also has a signed affidavit from hotel employee who said the security guard was striking Mitchell with a baton and that Mitchell posed no threat when he was on the ground. The worker said the security guards ordered him and the bellman to help hold Mitchell down. The decision to fire the hotel security personnel highlights how unjustified Devontae's death truly was after viewing the video from the hotel. Well, I mean, also the hotel will have some liability because these people either were employees or contractors of the hotel, but also they're not supporting after they viewed their actions, they're not even going to support keeping them. They, like they said, they violated hotels policy and procedures, and they can go ahead and face their criminal, um if they're charged with criminal charges. But I'm sure the family is going to have some sort of, they're going to hold the Hyatt responsible, even though the Hyatt is expressing condolences and all of those things. I'm sure they're going to still have a lawsuit. Um, mm-mm-mm. So it's unclear why Mitchell was at the hotel or what happened before the guards pinned him down. I mean, sometimes people walk into hotels to go get a drink, get some water, use the bathroom. Hotels are public buildings. You don't necessarily have to have a reservation to be walking through a hotel. Um, it could be any reason. Mm, mm-mm-mm. They said did they? I don't know. They say it's unclear. Maybe he needed a minute. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the scene is. Like, was he walking home? Was he walking to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he might need to go to the bathroom. You know, I mean, if you're walking down the street and there you have a Wendy's or a Hyatt and you want to go use the bathroom, maybe he went to go use the you know what I mean? I don't really know what the situation was. Did he pull over? Was he in his car? Did he pull over? Did he go in the building? Was he going to go get something to drink? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily alcohol, but just a beverage. It's hot outside. Um, was he, I mean, I'm assuming he was not traveling. Like, we don't know, but there's any number of reasons to go into a hotel, right? So we don't know what the problem was, but that's weird. Um but nobody should feel like, you know, and I'm sure the Hyatt is, you know, nobody should feel like you're going into a hotel and you've got 4 security guards coming for you. Um bad news. That's awful. Um let's see. I feel like there's something in my cookies right now. Oh, it's playing over here. Let's see.
Family members are demanding justice following the death of a Black man outside a Hyatt Regency hotel in downtown Milwaukee. The confrontation between security guards and 43-year-old Devontae Mitchell was captured on video and ended with Mitchell pinned to the ground, face down. The employees involved have since been fired, but Mitchell's sister and attorney say charges will follow. They spoke to our CBS News correspondent, Roxana Severi. And of course, we want to warn viewers that the video you're about to see is disturbing.
Stay down! Please stop fighting!
Witness cell phone video shows multiple Hyatt Regency hotel personnel pinning down Devontae Mitchell with their hands and knees, as the 43-year-old appears to beg for help.
Stay down!
With his chest, stomach, and face pressed to the ground, Mitchell repeatedly apologizes and pleads with them.
So I wonder he walked into the wrong. I mean, didn't we talk about this once? How many times you not paying attention? You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, if he's left or the right and you walk into the wrong, I mean, maybe he walked into the wrong restroom by mistake.
First responders found Mitchell unresponsive when they arrived at the scene. He was later pronounced dead. Milwaukee police say the incident started when Mitchell entered the hotel, caused a disturbance, and fought with the security guards as they escorted him out.
I couldn't take it, you know what I mean? Like, watching it, hearing his voice, hearing him yell for help, begging them to stop. It was just heartbreaking.
Mitchell's sister Naisha and other family members say the father of 2 was suffering from mental health issues.
They could have let him go and they didn't.
Hyatt is now calling for the employees who worked for hotel operator Ambridge Hospitality to face criminal charges. The Milwaukee County DA's office says it's awaiting a full autopsy, but is reviewing the case as a potential homicide.
When people are struggling to breathe, you don't keep them in a prone position with weight on them.
What would justice look like to you?
I need charges brought. I need somebody to be arrested.
So Roxana Severi is joining us now from Milwaukee. There's still a lot of questions out there about just what went wrong. Why was he in the hotel? Why were security guards treating him in that manner? But what is next now in terms of this whole case?
Yeah, there are still a lot of questions, Anne-Marie. What we are expecting today is a funeral for Mitchell held here in Milwaukee in a couple of hours. The Reverend Al Sharpton is one of the people who's expected to speak there. And an attorney for the Mitchell family has told us, Ben Crump has told us, he hopes that Mitchell's case remains in the spotlight into next week and beyond. Next week, as you know, here in Milwaukee, the Republican National Convention will kick off on Monday. Tens of thousands of people are expected to come to this town. And by the way, one of the venues for the RNC is the Baird Center, Anne-Marie, which is right across the street from the Hyatt Regency Hotel.
Wow. I know that some of his family members speculated that maybe he had been having sort of a mental health issue or something at the time. Did you get any more information from the Mitchell's attorney, Ben Crump?
Well, we spoke to Mitchell's older sister, Naisha, who told us that he was suffering from depression after their father died. And she didn't go into much more detail after that, but she said that did cause him some mental health conditions.
Interesting. All right, Roxana, thank you very much.
I mean, I just think that some people are so ready for a bad guy to come in, they don't even know what to do. Like they're just ready. There are people out they're just ready for some action and something they turn like a crumb into a brick, right? Um Somebody causing a ruckus and or a disturbance is not the reason to hold them down in a manner to where they cannot breathe, or how about just have them have a seat, we're going to talk to you, let's bring you, like, de-escalate, let's walk to the office, can we have a word with you, or let's get you some water, sir, are you okay, kind of thing. There's just so many like tough guys out here, or tough folks, tough Tonys, who just are looking for some action, and they're red, like, oh, I don't know, I can't explain it, I'm not in that line of work, but it just seems to me that there's just people out here just ready, they're ready for a fight, they're ready for some action, they're ready to turn up at the job, they're ready to use their training, they're just ready, they're ready, and they're not ready for the right ones. When the situation happens, when we need for you to use the training, it seems like no one's ever there. And then the situation where you could have used your other training of de-escalation, customer service, care and compassion, all of those things, those skills seem to not be in the building. So it's unfortunate. And I don't even know what to say. Mm-mm-mm. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. I feel like we've gotten all the way caught up. The news is not pretty right now. I'm sure there's some good news out here. And I'll bring you guys some good news tomorrow. I might come back a little bit later. I think I want to, like I said, I'm gonna upload some of that Christina Peterson video. I might just put it up as a premiere. But I gotta work on it. That video is 5 hours, and I'm not posting 5 hours. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna take it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna post it. So that'll probably be in the chat. But I don't know. I'm not gonna put that up like early this evening. I might put it up late tonight or something. I'm not sure. I'll think about it and I'll let y'all know. Um, Anything else between now and then, I'll be back. Um, And if you're in members, you haven't seen the reaction from this morning, it's there. I haven't set it up for you guys to watch yet on the YouTube streets, but if you're, it's available if you have members. I'm getting ready to upload it into Patreon. Hopefully, it's finished downloading, but I feel like it was stuck in between StreamYard and YouTube, so I could not really access it. It says it was still uploading right before I went live. So, um, you're welcome, Lady Diamond. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. But you know what all this is? These are all like future cases we'll be seeing, because all of this stuff is going to end up in the court system. So, um but yeah, we'll check in on some more stuff either later or tomorrow. I hope that you guys have a good evening. And if there's any other stories that you want me to check into or would like to talk about, um, oh God, are you talking about the Feeding America? Girl. Okay, that would be interesting. Okay. You know what? I was reading about that. Like, I've been reading about that for a couple of weeks. I knew exactly what you were talking about when I saw that. I was like, yes. Now that it's okay. It was a huge scam. It was a huge, huge scam. Are you guys aware of the Feeding America scam? It's like the biggest scam ever. And there was a bribe that was dropped to like the only person of color on the jury. And they were told, yeah, it's huge. It's really big. It's really big, guys. Okay, let's shut this down. Let me it was part of like it was part of like the pandemic recovery. Girl, it's huge. Okay. All right, it's huge. It's really big. Let me shut this live down and let me get my headspace together on the topic so I can, because I need to shift. But yeah, I've been quietly following that just on my own headspace. But yes, it's very, very interesting. It does it's a little complicated, but it's federal. It's a mess. They tried to bribe a juror. The juror called and reported it. It's a big, huge mess. My friend in Sandy. My friend saved a man's life as part of the response team. Officers were called about a black man causing a disturbance. They went on the call, the officers, and she discovered he's mental. When was this? Are you talking about in San Diego? My friend in San Diego saved a man's life as part of the response team. Officers were called about a black man causing a disturbance. She went out on the call with the officers and she discovered he was mental. How creepy. Girl. I'll give me a minute. Let me go stretch my legs. What time is it? It's only 3:45. Okay, give me about 20 minutes and I'll pull up some news stories. Like there's a lot going on with this. There's a lot. It's a big fraud though. It's huge. They were basically fleecing from the pandemic fund. It was a fund that was set up to feed families during the pandemic out of work. And basically, these people were feeding fake families, fake kids. They were setting up almost like franchise offices to say that they were feeding the hungry and the homeless and all of those things. And they were not, and it is like the biggest scam ever. Yeah, and all the people are being prosecuted, and in the midst of all of it, a one of the jurors who they've taken painstakingly tried to keep the anonymity of all of the jurors. And one day, like a duffel bag of money is at the house stating that there's more if the proper verdict comes out, because they dropped off like some talking points of like racism and cultural racism, um, all of the different things, because a lot of these people either they were from Somalia or Ethiopia. They were some of the folks are also Muslim. So it crosses a lot of different cultural um demographics, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Um It's legal. It's civil and it's legal. Okay. We can talk about it. It's very much complicated, but I mean, I know some about it. Yeah, I do. For someone who says they don't watch the news, I guess I do kind of low key watch the news, but I don't feel like I watch the news, but I do know a lot of what's going on. Okay, guys, let me shut this down a little bit. If you guys want to know about that case in Minnesota, who brought that up? I was reading about it a couple of weeks ago. I think I had downloaded, they had filed some motions, and I was reading the legal complaint because I'd gone to I started downloading some documents about it, and I was reading through it, and I was like, oh my God, this is a lot. Me, but me. It's interesting. Let me see what I can pull together, but yeah, it's very much a lot. Um, yeah, look it up. Really, I could have. I you guys are funny. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, let me go for a bit and let me interact with my daughter for a minute and handle some business around here, and then I'll be back, okay? We can talk about that for a minute. Okay, guys, I will see you a little bit later.